Hello. Yes, we are starting. I'm still a girl and I'm still a lady. Maybe master is right then. Because I don't see any pronoun for master, so maybe master is right. Okay. I cannot skip this, can I? No, I can. Okay. Easy still. I just want to know the story. Okay, I want to know. Okay, we don't have any stats. Okay. Let me have a look at the guide. Because yes, I'm going to be consulting the guide quite a bit. It's so weird seeing everything just blank. Sadly, we have to skip absolutely everything. What did I do? I can't remember what I did. Pretended to be hurt. I remember doing that. Should I do something different here? Like, no, this guide is just very long and big. There's a lot. Let's do a little save. Just to see. Wish I could actually just delete a bunch of these. What am I doing? What am I doing? I wish I could delete these. We'll just go to this one. Ah, we got etiquette for that. But what do we get for not doing that? We get charisma. Well, we don't need charisma, but we do need etiquette for Aurelius, so let's see. Can I skip this? I cannot. Okay, good. I'm just checking if it does the thing that I wanted it to do, and it does. Your Highnesses. Long delicate fingers touch my shoulders, lifting me to my feet. However, they leave me long before I can even recall their touch. There is no need to kneel, my lady. After all, you are to be our tutor. We are the ones who ought to be showing you respect. And we can skip now? I thought so. Right, Aurelius. Aurelius. With a cup of wine in hand, I comb through the ballroom in search of Prince Aurelius. I forgot that does that when I do that. Okay, wait. I have 5 combat. And 5 charisma. However, he is nowhere to be found. None of the guests I ask know where he is, nor do they sound terribly interested in finding out either. Eventually, behind a small table tucked into the farthest corner of the throne room. There he is. Prince Aurelius sits a bit farther away from the table. He leans forwards at an angle that lets him rest his elbows on his thighs while staring at the glass of wine resting in his hand. I move to stand behind the chair opposite him. Is this spot taken? His eyelashes flutter as he glances at me, just for a second, and then he quickly looks away. I don't see anyone else. I dare say this isn't the most welcoming invitation I've ever received, but I am willing to act on it anyways. As I sit down, the scent of western flowers envelops me. The aroma persists faintly in his proximity, but mixed with the red wine in his hand complements his appearance so well that I suddenly recall some member of the council referring to him as an exotic beauty. You're not going to join the ball? Evidently. Why not? Why aren't you? The prince's inscrutable gaze falls upon me, with it the intense intention neither to provide an answer to my question nor to listen to any answer of mine. Curiosity rises within me as I set my cup of wine aside, a gesture Prince Aurelius mimics. Something the late guard captain, may he rest in peace, told me tugged at my mind. He said that there was no love lost between the nobles and the youngest prince. Should I ask? Would I be prying if I did? Fine, I'll take a guess, while the conversation will, indubitably, go nowhere. From my understanding, you don't greatly like the noblemen here, do you? I suppose I like them about as much as they like me. Which is to say, not at all. I applaud your perspicacity. Why is that? Why, I wonder. Of course the cat wants to come in now once I just start recording. 1 second. His tone could not have conveyed "it's none of your business" more clearly. He had outright said it, the words may have been somehow kinder than this. Very well, Your Highness, I can take a hint. I was starting to have my doubts. I stand up, feeling affronted. My curiosity about the youngest prince does not transcend my pride as a Rosencruz. If you would rather not put up with my company, you could have said so at the beginning, and thus saved us both the trouble. To save what remained of my dignity in front of the prince, I make my move to leave, stretching out my hand to take my wine glass. At the same time, Prince Aurelius reaches out for the very same glass. Just as I realize that by my mistake I was reaching for the wrong glass, our hands touch. I feel him tense up, then jerk away. I'll move the cat's bed in case she wants to slip on it. Oh, there's your bed. Yep, there you go. Alright. There's 1,000 cat hairs in. The abrupt movement of Prince Aurelius's hand knocks the glass cup from the table. It falls and shatters, spraying wine all over the floor. The floor was not the only victim. I stare in dismay at the dark droplets staining the front of my shirt. So I'm both unwanted and repulsive? Good to know. What happened, Your Highness? Oh dear, oh dear. 2 servants materialize out of thin air, towels and mops in hand. One of them turns to me, bowing. Don't worry, my lady. We'll soon take care of it. Thank you. I look up to see Prince Aurelius glaring at me as though it was somehow entirely my fault that we ended up in this predicament. Alright, what one do I do? I want to see if we already have any glare back. Ooh, does that make him like us though? It does a little bit. Alright, but what does apologizing do? Nothing. And he doesn't like that. Okay, interesting. No, I meant to do this one. Yeah, it's not so hot tonight, so she's very happy to go into the bed. Alright, glare back. I glare back at him. The tension-filled silence between us lengthens as we glower at each other. For a brief moment, I consider apologizing since reaching for the wrong glass was indeed my fault. Although the blame isn't mine alone, if he hadn't riled me up in the start, the mess wouldn't have happened. And it is my shirt that has been stained, as well as my pride. At last, Prince Aurelius breaks his eye contact with a sigh. Very well. I admit that I am partially to blame. With that, the tension is gone. I reply with a nod. It was clumsy of me as well. I'm just moving the mic. I kneel down and take a spare piece of cloth from the nearby chair. What are you doing? Helping the servants. You don't have to. I am well aware of that. He glances at me from the corner of his eyes. His gesture doesn't give away any of his thoughts. Nearly half an hour passes before I am done helping the servants clean up. All the while, Prince Aurelius stood by the table, observing me in pensive silence. When we are done at last, he motions the servants away. It's getting late. I'm going back to my room. Good night, Rosencruz. Good night, Your Highness. I receive a curt nod of acknowledgement. Prince Aurelius walks in long, rapid strides into the crowd and out of my sight. Alright. Now we're gonna do a lot of skipping. Alright, here we go. The first time we get to set the schedule. So we need 15 combat or 10 intelligence. So let's do one of these. And then, I think we'll be fine. Etiquette. Okay, and let's get you guys' natural affinities up again. I'm not gonna go super hard on that one though. I'm gonna try and do what I did before, where everyone has a lot of stats so that we can make everything. What am I doing? Right. His is light and wood. Yours is wind and fire, if I remember correctly. And yours is darkness and water. I'm going back to save scumming, by the way. Because it now actually matters whether or not I am able to get the correct amount of stuff. Which I am not, so... The combat one actually means a lot to me. Or maybe I should get intelligence. Let's do some nah, I don't know. Okay, no, intelligence. Intelligence is fine. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and just save it again though, sadly. Are we going back to the thing of, oops, 6, 4, 3. I'm gonna pause until I get the intended outcome. You know what, this is fine, whatever. And their stats aren't too bad either, so... Alright, time to skip a whole bunch again. I guess it doesn't really matter which one I choose. Maybe it does matter because I could have gotten a good stat boost. I don't know. Alright. Wait. I thought on week 2 we had a stat check. Confused. Etiquette for now. Three, 2, 4, shit. Shit. 6, 5, 3. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not good enough. Alright, we pause again. Actually, I'm just gonna go with this one. I'm just gonna go with it. It's fine. Alright. I wonder if accepting makes him like us more. Ooh. Right, we accept. I don't think we accepted before. It does make him like us more. I lay my hands on the hilt of the remaining sword. As I do so, I can feel Prince Aurelius' eyes on mine, watching me with approval. Okay, so we didn't actually fight him before. We were forced into fighting him. Physical combat has never been my forte, but if that is the prince's fancy, then I am determined to give him my best and hope that it will be good enough. Are you sure about this, Your Highness? A pleading note creeps into my voice as I make a last, frantic attempt to dissuade him. Yes. Enough talking. On guard. That is all the warning I receive. Oh, it is week 2 now. Okay, I'm so confused. I receive before Prince Aurelius lunges at my person in a whirlwind of shining steel. Taken by surprise, I barely manage to bring my sword up in time to parry the volley of incoming blows. I think we can skip this, actually. No, we cannot. Okay. Ching. Now we have combat success, unlike we did before, which we failed. The sword makes a silver crescent in the air as it arcs down towards my head. I bring my own blade up, angled slightly away. My arms buckle under the impact, but at least my head is safe. Almost immediately the sword returns, this time thrusting straight towards my heart. I pirouette away, heart pounding wildly as I hear the blade pierce the empty air where I had been only a breath ago. See, these noises sounds like they're like going twing and they're like slashing into someone. Those sounds really bother me. Not because I'm sensitive to those sounds, but because they just don't make sense. With much more luck than skill, I am able to fend off most of the attacks and dodge the remaining ones that slip through my guard. I see a flicker of amusement in Prince Aurelius' eyes. That's not a great sign for me. Suddenly, the tempo of his attacks increased tenfold. Does he have any sense of doing things in moderation? There is no in-between with him. Another series of unfaltering strikes. Flash. Sweat is pouring down my forehead, stinging my eyes. I'm getting tired quickly while the prince is barely even winded. I have to end this quickly. Gritting my teeth, I push away the next blow and dart forward, sword outstretched, determined to bring down my opponent before he exhausts me completely. I see a grin bordering on a sneer as if to mock me. Then there is a blur of movement. I stagger as something slams into me with brute force. I think I can skip now, yeah. I should move to look at what he even likes. Right, Aurelius prefers combat etiquette and a bit of everything else. Well, isn't that great? Isn't that great? We need a bit of everything else. Alright, well, let's get a bit of everything else, I guess. We are good thus far. How is everything else doing? I'm just gonna start pausing every time I have to do a stat thing, I think. No, that was the first go and it's not too bad. And, oh my god. Right, we have 29 etiquette. Let's go intelligence. Although there are missions we can do as well, let's not forget that. But we need beauty for that, and that's a Seren one. I don't know if I want to do that one. Probably won't do that one. Okay. I feel pretty lucky. Every time I pause, it instantly gives me like a decent like score type thing. New missions are available. Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. Alright. Mission. I want to find the family of that good captain. I remember. I remember that one. How are you guys doing? You're doing well. Let's change it up a bit on you. And then... yeah, you're doing a lot better. Alright, so how's the intelligence? That's quite a bit. Etiquette again. Alright, here's the results. And we move on. I think I got a stat check there, that was fine. Who should I ask? What am I doing? Find Sala. I'm pretty sure I did that before as well. Alright, whose is this? This is Nazir. I'm not gonna bother with that. But I think... wait, should I bother? Like, I know we get an up in money at some point. I know I need to make a bomb, so let's just synthesize that quickly. We'll need that. It's so annoying that I have to do all this again, honestly. Oh, I understand it, but it's just like, man, I had like everything going for me before. And I know we'll need to make all of this at some point, but just not right now. I've got a bomb, that's fine. I need to remember what the truth serum was so that I have enough for that. Alright, what am I doing? My combat is at 31. My etiquette is at 33. He wants a little bit of everything, which is just annoying to me. Keep pressing the wrong friggin' thing. Alright, what's my charisma at? Alright, let's just go for a whole line of charisma. Let's just get it up, like everything up like a little bit. Again, good enough. Alright, let's skip. Ooh, etiquette success this time. It would not do to disturb a private conversation. I have enough social prowess to understand at least that. Reining in my curiosity, I wait patiently for them to finish their conversation. It does not take long. Soon, Aurelius nods his head and speaks a few words, which Sala replies to with a soft smile and a curtsy before turning away and leaving. Aurelius stares after her, the expression on his face softer and more open than I have ever seen on him. Hesitantly, I walk up to him and clear my throat. Who's there? It's me. Rosencruz, I didn't expect to see you. What do you want? Looks like he's back to the old Aurelius. Can't say I'm not vaguely disappointed. Is anything the matter? Why do you ask? I don't know if it's very common for princes to talk to personal servants of other people, so I was wondering whether you or she might need something. You mean Sala? No, it's nothing out of the ordinary. She asks about how I am sometimes. Can I skip this? No. A servant, not assigned to a prince casually after asking after his well-being, is something out of the ordinary. Can I skip this? No. Said prince replying to and even being friendly with the servant is even more out of the ordinary. And that prince being Prince Aurelius, out of all people, makes it the most out of the ordinary event I've seen. Needless to say, I keep these thoughts to myself. I don't need to be engaging in another sparring match. It's just as well I hadn't interrupted them. I have a notion that Sala would not care for this to be something widely known about the palace. Sala has been working in the palace for as long as I can remember, and she has always been a caring and devoted companion to my brothers and I. I wonder how old Sala actually is. She doesn't look much older. There's a moth on my mic. She doesn't look to be much older than Aurelius, but from what he said, she must be at least old enough to be his mother. I'm gonna blow it away. There we go. It's amazing how a homunculus's appearance always stays the same, no matter how much time passes. An envious trait indeed. I see. Do you now? Good. Aurelius straightens his posture with an abrupt motion and nods curtly in the direction of the study. Well, shall we be heading to class? Yes. Side by side, we walk down the corridor in silence, not exchanging another word along the entire way there. Alright. Alright, what is there to do? Nothing regarding Aurelius currently. Right, we have 25 charisma. Wait, what week is it about to be? 7? What do we need for that? Wait, I need to check the time. Keep making mistakes. Alright, let's have a look at our stats. We need some intelligence. Let's get some leadership. We'll need it eventually. We're doing well. We're doing well. Alright, quite good stats there. Yeah, my charisma was fine there. Stay back and rest. I guess that's Aurelius's option. After these hectic few weeks, time to relax and recharge will do me some wonders. Besides, this tour was meant for Eskians to connect with the royal family, not outsiders such as myself. No doubt that the invitations are only a formality. Turning back to my desk, I complete my responses to the princes, then set them aside. For now, the letter to father remains half written. I think we can skip from now. Yeah. Okay, cool. What do I want to do now? We've got the leadership up a significant amount. I keep pressing the wrong thing. I'm so annoyed at myself sometimes. Okay. How are your guys' stuff doing? Let's start early on this bullshit, right? I know you need this. And you need... I don't remember what he needs. Let's get the light on the go. Right, and I don't want leadership anymore. Maybe beauty? Like, we haven't done any beauty. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna do. And I'll see you in a second. This will do. I get very bored. Okay. Sala woke me up early as I instructed her. Despite the day being mine to do with as I please, I do not wish to waste it sleeping. What's more, the morning is turning out to be a beautiful one. Perfect for catching up on some reading in the gardens. Of course, and who's always in the gardens? I think of the party gathering by the gates and wonder with amusement if they have taken their leave. Knowing Prince Nazir, that seems unlikely. Well, aren't we up bright and early? The total surprise of hearing Nazir's voice freezes me in place momentarily, so I almost forget my manners. There he stands, clearly waiting to intercept me. He is beaming at me, not a dark bag under— wait, can I not? Yeah, I thought I could skip this. As much as Aurelius is indeed particular and disagreeable, the fault was hardly his own this once. But looking at Lady Ishbel's dejected expression, could I bear to tell her? Oh dude, I don't know what to do. Why do you give me stuff I don't know how to do? He likes me a little bit. Okay, but like... wait, oh here. Did it go up? I can't tell. Whatever, I'll live with my decision. To be quite honest, Lady Ishbel, the greeting did not conform to proper conduct, seeing as you neither bowed nor curtsied. As a prince, His Highness must adhere to a strict protocol in all social situations, more so than us. Especially with all these chambermaids around. In response to my remarks, Lady Ishbel blanches and her once joyous mood fades. When she speaks again, her voice carries a trembling undertone. I'm so very sorry, I didn't mean to. I just thought, because with Nazir... Yes, quite. I seem to have given you a few bad habits. I will apologize properly once I see him again. Observing her dejected expression, I doubt anyone could have stayed angry with her. While curious, I managed to rein in the question of her history. For a noble lady, she seems so out of place. I think we can skip now? Nope. I clear my throat, glancing at the light streaming in through the windows. Your Highness, will you be late? You will be late for the outing if you tarry much longer. Nazir dismissively waves his hand. Nonsense, there's still plenty of time, but if you wish to leave... I must admit, I did have some other engagements. I smile and give Lady Ishbel a small bow. Lady Ishbel, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Yes, it's been lovely making your acquaintance as well. Betrayer. Betrayer. Your Highness, I hope you'll enjoy the tour. Always do. You enjoy your time off, eh? He winks and I leave the two of them merrily chatting. Somehow, without thinking, there is no more skipping. Somehow, without thinking, I find myself following the path Prince Aurelius took towards the garden. As I step out into the greenery, I am met with brilliant early morning sunlight and an almost otherworldly sense of solitude. The gardeners appear to have taken the day off, and there are none of the usual society ladies or courtiers lounging about. They're for bed. Holding the book I had chosen to read in one hand, I allow myself to stroll in peace, growing happier with my decision to forego the tour at each small thing I notice. That is, when I hear music resonating throughout the still air. Delicate plucks of a string not made anywhere close to Eskia combine into a staccato. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. I'm not a musician, okay? I can sing like a tiny amount and that's it. Rhythm that somehow makes me nostalgic. I follow the music to the pavilion at the heart of the garden, abandoned as well, save for a single figure. For a split second, I almost don't recognize them to be Prince Aurelius. The enchanting music projects from a wing of the palace facing the garden centre. I see the ajar window from which the melancholy sound exudes, but no musician. I hesitate. Prince Aurelius sits with his profile to me, but has yet to notice my presence. I could speak with him, perhaps apologize for Lady Ishbel's behaviour. But the way he seems to listen so raptly makes me feel like an intruder. Still, the music is beautiful, strange, and calming all at once. He's so cute. Wishing to hear more, I find a bench just a few steps away and take a seat. I open the book to read, but the haunting melody instead transports me into lands I had previously only learned of in my studies. I recall a faded watercolour image lovingly preserved in one of my father's history books, originally from a land far to the east. A gentle cherry blossom tree, a frothing sea, and in the back a snow-capped mountain. The people stand upon steps beneath a delicate wooden ark, their exotically dark hair expertly tinged with blue by the artist. I frown, glancing up at Prince Aurelius, and imagine him standing among them in a wisteria robe, arms tucked in his sleeves, he and the Lord Regent both. Good morning, Lady Rosencreuz. I muffle a yelp of surprise so as not to draw attention to myself. Harris is smirking at having startled me, of course. Betrayer! I had been so engrossed in my fantasies that I had not noticed his presence. Without asking for an invitation, he sits beside me and gives me a quizzical look. I assumed you would have gone out with the other princes today. For the tour? No, I think my time is better spent catching up on all the work I have piling up. I lift the book I was supposed to start reading, but Harris barely acknowledges it. Instead, he nods towards the window and the music streaming through it. Beautiful, isn't it? Very. Are you familiar with it? The instrument is stringed, a kind of harp that lays upon the floor from a country far, far to the east. So, I know what it is. But literally only because I have watched The Untamed. And I can't even remember what it is called right now. I could check and see if it's correct when... I'm not gonna Google it. I've literally retweeted something not too long ago about it. I don't know how to say it, so I'm gonna Google Translate it. No, wait, I can't because you'll hear it. I'm gonna pause. Alright, my pronunciation is obviously gonna be extremely off because I'm sure that even the Google Translate isn't that accurate, but it's a guqin, I think. So, I mean, this is, at least, if that's not what it's called, then that's just what he called his. So I don't know. I could be wrong then. Okay. I've read of them, but this is the first time I have had the pleasure of hearing one. The final notes ring out and silence descends upon us. For a brief while, it feels like I should give a round of applause towards such talent, but Harris rises from his seat. Please excuse me, I need to prepare for the prince's departure. Can they not say what it is? Good. Yes, it is the instrument. And it does lay on the floor. I was thinking it's either that or it's a harp. But obviously it's kind of a harp, it's just laid out on the ground. Of course, where is he going? To join the others on the tour, of course. He nods at me. Lady Rosencruz? I nod back and watch as he leaves. Aurelius sits very still until Harris arrives. I note how delicately the servant makes his presence known. I look away, once more conscious of how empty the garden is. When I look up from my book again, the two men are gone, and I am alone. I let out a sigh, staring at the dark open window and wondering about the musician that never showed their face. Yeah, who the fuck is that? At the day's end, I return to my chambers, feeling relaxed and energetic, more so than ever. The palace quickly returns to life. Nobles and their servants slowly stream. I think we can skip from here. Yeah. I thought so. Aurelius. We have a bomb. How are we doing exactly for this? Time to get the guide up again. By week 14, we need 40 intelligence. Oh, we are so close to being there. We can take a second to do something else. Synthesize another one of these. And then we will go to the blocked path. We will do this. A landslide has blocked off the caravan route leading to the remote mining town of Zelflos. In result, the kingdom was left without access to its most crucial source of iron and copper. Since Zelflos falls under the jurisdiction of Prince Aurelius, the regent has assigned him a company of guardsmen carrying alchemic bombs as demolition charges. Their mission is to clear away the landslide and make the road open again for travel. The prince and his escort... I just realized I didn't know if I unpaused. The prince and his escort are due to set off today, and at the last minute he abruptly asked me to accompany him. We are able to make good speed on our journey, reaching the site of the landslide by early evening. Under Prince Aurelius's careful eye, the guardsman sets off the bombs in well-spaced and well-controlled demolitions, slowly but steadily blowing apart the debris left by the landslide. Soon most of the road is cleared, and our job seems almost done. That's when disaster struck. Eager to finish the job quickly and go home, I didn't check what thing this needed. Fuck. One of the teams set too many bombs as demolition charge and ignited them too quickly. At first, nothing untoward happened. The remainder of the debris were destroyed, and there were even a few cheers. Then, an ominous rumbling sound came from the cliffs towering high above us. Sweet! Summoning up all of his water magic, Prince Aurelius was able to manipulate the currents of the river below. Reacting instinctively, I summoned up wind magic, magnifying the force of the blast of water he unleashed. Together, we were able to create a powerful torrent that swept the guardsmen out of harm's way right in the nick of time. It was a miracle, but no one was killed, or even seriously wounded by the second landslide, even though most of our work that evening had been undone. Prince Aurelius gave the men whose recklessness had caused a second landslide a severe tongue lashing. However, I also couldn't help but notice he thoroughly examined everyone to make sure no one was badly hurt. I thought that was surprisingly kind of him. Then he quickly disabused me of that notion by ordering everyone to begin clearing away the second landslide, telling us we would work through the night if that is what it takes. Sweet. What do I do here? What did I do here? I should say. Okay. I'm just wondering if any of these nets us anything. Alright, but what does the other one net us? I know that was the one we chose. I'm pretty sure we chose to... Wait, what does play off? Okay, nothing happened. We chose the first one, I remember. We chose to take the blame. Take the blame. Alright, what else is new? Anything? No. No. Well, actually, that one is Aurelius, so... We have a decent amount of moolah. But I should be doing this as well. Wait, we have 42 intellect, which is good. Because I need to think of the story as well. I don't know, it's hard to know what to do. Let's get combat up. We'll do this, we won't do a mission yet. Alright, it'll do. I hate getting a 3, but I just can't keep re-rolling the stats. Alright, but I'll see you in the next video. Bye.